Oh yeah, what's up all my Jaguars out there? You know who I am. Ralph Jaguar is back with another epic one. And welcome to another epic episode of Ralph's Universe, the Reboot. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, what's up Jaguars? I have to say, these past few days, or what the heck, these past few weeks has really been taking a toll on me, but I have been able to get a few breaks here and there. And during those breaks, you know, I've been able to do some Christmas shopping. Oh yeah, that was really fun. Huh. And about 2 days ago, you know, I have been feeling, you know, a little under the weather. Yeah, having a rough time with, you know, I guess I could say it was a stomach ache. But thanks to the special medicine called Aleve, you know, the Aleve tablets, I was able to survive my ordeal. And I also want to take this time right now to thank all of my fans, all my loyal Jaguars out there. And I most definitely want to thank all of my personal friends, you know, all of them who supported me. Because, you know, I really do appreciate that. Because I'm telling you right now, you know, all of my special friends are
so mother effing epic.
And I definitely want to thank my very special friend, Mel. You know, she has been giving me a whole lot of support, and I really appreciate that. So, Mel, you are
so mother effing epic.
Okay. Yeah, you'll probably notice that my voice is a little off. I think this weather here in December is really starting to get to me. First it was exhaustion, then it was my stomach, and now it might be affecting my voice, so it looks like I may be needing that Aleve again. I don't know. So, you ask, what is going on in the WWE? Good question. I think it's safe to say that because of what's been happening lately with the WWE, which stands for World Wrestling Entertainment, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the WWE has been turned upside down.
Damn.
AJ Lee betraying John Cena, and then she is kissing Dolph Ziggler, and Vicky Guerrero teaming up with John Cena. OMG. OMG. What the F is going on? Okay, so let's talk about, to be honest with you, I really don't know where to start. There's so much happening. And this is only on Raw too. But let me start with what happened on last Sunday's pay-per-view event presented by the WWE. It's called Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. Oh my. Let me just go ahead and jump right into it. A lot of great matches here, folks. pay-per-view started off with a battle royal called the Santa's Helpers #1 Contenders Divas Battle Royal. This was to determine who would face, the Divas champion Eve later on in this pay-per-view. This was a great battle royal, in the spirit of December, Christmas. And it came down to Caitlyn, the one that's been gunning for Eve for a long time, but you know that Eve has been ducking Caitlyn. In fact, Eve has even been pulling scheme after scheme after scheme, trying to prevent Caitlyn from getting a fair shot at the Divas title. And to your furthest right here, you see Naomi. She's one of the girls that dances with Brodus Clay. And this was a great battle royal, but guess what? You see right over here, Caitlyn and Naomi were battling real fiercely to win this contest. But then Eve, who was on the outside, just had to interfere, huh? That's right, the Divas champion Eve went ahead on and took that cheap shot on Caitlyn. And because of that distraction, that is why Naomi won the Santa's Little Helper Battle Royal and became the #1 contender to Eve's Divas title. Well, ain't that something? Man, what a pair this is, huh? Team Rhodes Collar. At last Sunday's TLC pay-per-view event, Team Rhodes Collar, which consisted of Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow, they were able to get a win over Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara. And by doing that, they earned a shot at the tag team titles, which is being held by Team Hell No, Daniel Bryan and Kane. That is one anticipated match, isn't it? I certainly can't wait for it. Okay, Naomi won the Battle Royal to get a shot at the Divas Championship. But in order for her to do that, she had to go through Eve. And as you can see here, Naomi fell victim to Eve. Eve is still the Divas champion. Yeah, somehow, time after time again, with each passing pay-per-view event, Eve is still finding a way to hang on to her Divas championship. And yes, she's doing this because somehow she's able to duck Caitlyn. Well, I'll tell you what, on the following Monday Night Raw, Caitlyn went one-on-one with Eve in a non-title match. And it was Caitlyn that won the match. So now it is up in the air. Is Caitlyn finally going to get a one-on-one fair shot against Eve and that Divas championship? As far as I'm concerned, Caitlyn does deserve that title shot, because Caitlyn and Eve, they need to finally get it on, put that Divas championship on the line, so we can finally settle this thing. And then we will see who the better diva is. You know, Eve needs to be a fighting champion. So come on, Eve. Woman up. Woman up already. Okay, in another great six-man tag team match in the TLC pay-per-view event last Sunday, it was The Miz teaming up with Alberto Del Rio and the Brooklyn Brawler to go up against Team 3MB. That stands for the three-man band, which consisted of Heath Slater, Jinder Mahal, and Drew McIntyre. Wow, what a team that is, huh? Now, this match came about because the 3MB were guests on, The Miz's show, Miz TV, and 3MB started harassing and badgering, verbally bashing the Spanish announcers that were there. And that's when Rodriguez, Alberto Del Rio's personal announcer, got involved. Then Alberto Del Rio himself got involved into the situation. So the only way to settle it would be at the last Sunday's TLC match. And it looks like things really did get settled, huh? The Miz, Alberto Del Rio, and the legendary Brooklyn Brawler jumped in, and they won the match against 3MB. Congratulations, boys. Nice. Okay, once again, in this TLC match right here, Antonio Cesaro, who cares if I'm getting this right or not, Antonio Cesaro was able to pick up another win over R-Truth. The U.S. title was on the line. R-Truth, this was a real good matchup. R-Truth came close to winning it, but Antonio Cesaro won again. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me now? Oh, jeez. Oh, come on. Here we go again. Didn't we do this last time? I mean, didn't we do this for the last pay-per-view event for the WWE? This guy right here, Antonio Cesaro, whatever, he's winning again. He is still the U.S. champion. I don't know about the rest of the WWE universe, and I don't know about my Jaguars out there, but I am damn sick and tired of seeing this guy win all the time. And he still has the U.S. belt. He doesn't care about our country. He does not respect the USA. He's always mocking us. Can't you strip him of the belt yet? Oh, jeez. Because there's like a whole bunch of guys who would make a better U.S. champion. Okay? There's a whole bunch of guys in the WWE who would be better U.S. champions than this chump. Come on, writers. Get your head out of your ass. Pay attention to what you're doing, damn it. Tired of this guy winning. So tired of it.
Damn.
Okay, some good news. Our boy Kofi Kingston successfully defended his title, his U.S. title. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, that's a typo. Our boy Kofi Kingston successfully defended his Intercontinental title against Wade Barrett. That's right, for weeks prior to this matchup at TLC, Wade Barrett had been putting Kofi Kingston out with his hard clothesline there, but taunting the man. Wade kept saying how he was going to get the Intercontinental title. Well, guess what? When TLC came around, what happened? Okay, Wade Barrett, rough, rugged, competitor that he is, he put Kofi Kingston through a lot. But like the true champion and hero that he is, Kofi Kingston rallied back and defeated Wade Barrett, as you can see here. Oh yeah. He went ahead on and bam! He hit Wade Barrett with the Trouble in Paradise. And now Kofi Kingston is still Intercontinental Champion. Okay, people. Originally, Ryback was supposed to get his title shot against CM Punk at TLC, but since the First City Savior got injured, his leg is, shattered, so they went ahead on and made a last change. The Shield was, by the way, this match right here was signed and set up by Mr. Vince McMahon himself. It's the Shield versus Ryback and Team Hell No. It was a brutal matchup. I mean, prior to this matchup, a lot of stuff's been happening. The Shield had been battling and fighting Ryback, Kane, and Daniel Bryan for the longest of times now. And at last Sunday's TLC, they finally got it on, and it was a real brutal matchup. And it was Daniel Bryan that got put through the table, and that is why the Shield was able to get their first major win. But trust me, this feud is far from over. Believe that. Okay, for the World Heavyweight Championship in a chairs match, it's the Big Show versus Sheamus. Sheamus really wanted to win his belt back, so he was really looking forward to this chairs match. I mean, a kind of match like this, the rules are pretty simple, self-explanatory. You can use chairs and only chairs. So the Big Show brought out a surprise. This was a real brutal matchup, Of course, my favorite chairs match is the one where John Cena went up against Wade Barrett. I had the pleasure of seeing that one. But anyway, back to this chairs match. Look at what the Big Show did. Just look at how the Big Show won his chair match against Sheamus at last Sunday's TLC. Damn! Just look at that chair. I have been watching wrestling for a very long time now. I've seen a bunch of dudes hit each other with chairs, but I've never seen anyone use a chair like this. Damn! Just look at that chair.
Damn!
That is a big-ass chair right there. Very inventive, very smart, and very clever, I guess. The Big Show must have had that one specifically made just so he can use it in this match and win this match. Oh yeah, a roll of the dice, and it appeared to have worked. And because of this big-ass chair that the Big Show used, the Big Show is still the World Heavyweight Champion. How nice. Are you looking for an oh my moment? A shocker? Well, here's a shocking moment right here. Now in this matchup right here, okay, now Vince McMahon went ahead on and set this matchup himself. Another matchup that Vince McMahon specifically set up because of what's been happening with all the BS interrogations that John Cena had to put up with and the harassment that AJ Lee had to put up with. So Dolph Ziggler had to put his Money in the Bank contract on the line. Actually, he had to take his contract and hold it up real high in the air. And the matches, the ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship, John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler, for that Money in the Bank briefcase, the one for the World Heavyweight Championship. And John Cena has already gotten a few victories over Dolph, and it seems that, yeah, at the TLC pay-per-view, John Cena had Dolph Ziggler beat, and it looks like John Cena was about to win the match, but then, oh man, look at what AJ is doing. Just look at her. I can't believe she's doing this. I have no idea what this woman is thinking. Damn. That's right, AJ betrayed John Cena, and because of that, Dolph Ziggler is still Mr. Money in the Bank. What's wrong with this woman? Damn. So, not a very happy ending at WWE Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. But, however, the suspense and the action was
so mother effing epic.
Yeah, even though the bad guys won, in most of the matches, WWE TLC is still an epic pay-per-view. Like I told you before, no one puts on a wrestling show like the WWE. And speaking of shows, let's talk about what happened on last Monday night on Raw. They had the WWE Slammy Awards. That's right, it was that time again to hand out the awards. And I'm telling you folks, and all my Jaguars out there, and the rest of the WWE universe, it was a long, long night. A lot of stuff happened, strange happenings here, but still, the WWE Slammy Awards is
so mother effing epic.
That's right, it was on this night that, due to the voting of the WWE Universe, translation meaning the fans of the WWE, you all got to vote on what award specifically did you want each WWE superstar to get. The results and everything may be staged and written, but you gotta admit, the one thing that is real about the combatants and the superstars that you see in the WWE and all of its great epic shows, all of that is real. Because the men and women of the WWE, no matter what you may say about each of them, they are really putting their heart, their soul, their blood, sweat, and their tears into this. Okay? And that's what it's all about, Jaguars. And fans of wrestling everywhere. And that is what these people are doing. They are putting on a show just for you, and they're working hard on it. So all of the superstars that received Slammy Awards, they earned it. And all of the awards that were given to the WWE superstars is because you selected these superstars to get the awards. So please keep that in mind. It's the fans of the WWE that voted in this situation. So what I want to do right now is go ahead and get into it. And let's go over who got what award. Now, this award right here is being presented by SmackDown General Manager, five-time WCW Champion, 6-time World Champion, Booker T. And this is the award of Tell Me I Did Not Just See That. That's right, that's Booker T's catchphrase. Please tell me I did not just see that award. Also known as the award of Most Shocking Moment of the Year. And the winner is, no, it's not this guy standing next to him. That's Brad Maddox, wannabe WWE star. No, Brad Maddox did not win this. He was nominated, but he did not win it. So he came out here for nothing. The one that actually won this award is, that's right, current Intercontinental Champion, Kofi Kingston. That's right, it was Kofi Kingston who won this. And this is why. That's right, this miracle save that Kofi Kingston did earlier in this year's Royal Rumble. That's right, earlier in this year's Royal Rumble. That is why Kofi Kingston won this award. That's right, Kofi Kingston won the award of Tell Me I Did Not Just See That, the most shocker of the year. I gotta tell y'all, that is one damn good save. Now, the award of Comeback of the Year was presented by the legendary Outlaws, the New Age Outlaws, members of DX. And the one that actually won this award is Jerry the King Lawler, and rightfully so. Earlier this year, Jerry Lawler, he suffered a real life-threatening heart attack, but this Hall of Famer right here, he would not give up. He kept on fighting, and with the support of all the fans in the WWE universe, and I supported him too, of course, because Jerry Lawler, he is a legend here in the WWE, great Hall of Famer, great guy. Jerry Lawler was able to make the comeback. Okay? And that's why I'm dubbing him as the comeback guy. And Jerry Lawler does deserve this award. So the award for Comeback of the Year goes to Jerry the King Lawler. Way to go. Way to go, King. In a one-on-one matchup, Intercontinental Champion Kofi Kingston had to square off against the brutal Kensai. It was a rough match, but thanks to his finishing maneuver, Trouble in Paradise, Kofi Kingston was able to win. You're seeing that here. Kofi Kingston was able to get the upset win on Tensai. And then that is when this happened. That's right. Obviously pissed off about what happened last Sunday. Right after Kofi Kingston's win over Kensai, Wade Barrett playing the role of the sore loser. Oh man, that's right. Wade Barrett, being the sore loser, had to attack Kofi Kingston from behind and beat the man down. Man, isn't that some BS? For the award of Kiss of the Year, and I think it's pretty obvious who the nominees are. It was AJ and Daniel Bryan, AJ and Kane, AJ and CM Punk, and of course AJ and John Cena. The nominees was basically AJ. And all of the fans, of course, voted on which couple would win the award for Best Kiss, and it was AJ and John Cena, which is rather strange after what happened last Sunday. And AJ wouldn't even explain to anyone why she would do it. And of course, Vicky Guerrero's coming in with the I told you so's. And then Dolph Ziggler jumped in to try to, I don't know why this guy's jumping in, but then this is another shocker right here. Of all of the guys that, AJ has kissed, well, you can go ahead and add Dolph Ziggler to the list. Yep, here she is. I gotta say, man, AJ Lee sure does kiss around, doesn't she? She kisses around, sleeps around. Damn.
Damn.
Yeah, I really don't know what to make of this situation, Jaguars. I mean, AJ Lee, I don't know. This lady is crazy. I mean, there's something going on with AJ. I have no idea. I have no idea what her thinking is. Okay, now, don't know what to think of this situation, Jaguars, you might be surprised by this because of the mixed reactions that John Cena gets from the crowd whenever he enters the arena. But then again, it shouldn't really be a surprise. But then again, maybe it is. Because sometimes they boo John Cena, sometimes they cheer him. I mean, but then again, it is the fans that voted for John Cena to be the superstar of the year for 2012. That's right. The fans voted. Ric Flair presented John Cena with the award. And it looks like probably the majority of the WWE universe loves John Cena. But then John Cena, playing the role of the gracious guy, he wants to hand the award to Ric Flair because Ric Flair is the greatest of all time. Real classy act, I might say. But in my personal opinion, John Cena does deserve this award because it is John Cena who is the superstar of the year for 2012. And this is the big one, people. So I am loath to ask, why did they have, this award so early, when this definitely should have waited for the end. What is going on with the WWE writers? If you find out, please let me know. Now this is where things really got interesting. After John Cena had won the award for the Superstar of the Year, and he handed the trophy to Ric Flair. After John Cena walked off the stage, that's when CM Punk, he hobbled along in the stage with Paul Heyman, and CM Punk started his bitching, his moaning, and his groaning, and his crying, saying that the fans should have voted for CM Punk to be the Superstar of the Year. Yeah, he just screamed and yelled, did a whole lot of whining. Oh, jeez. And that is when, Ric Flair and CM Punk decided to step into the ring, not for a match, but just to fight. And Ric Flair won the fight. It was CM Punk who hit Ric Flair with the cane, but then Ric Flair came back, nailed CM Punk and beat down the Punk. And then Paul Heyman decided to jump in and try to attack Ric Flair. So Ric Flair went ahead on and decided to teach Paul Heyman a little lesson about not jumping into stuff that doesn't involve him. So Ric Flair, he did what everyone wanted to do. He put Paul Heyman in a figure 4 leg lock. So how's it going, Paul? You like that, Heyman? Correction. This is where things got really interesting. After Ric Flair beat down CM Punk and Paul Heyman, that is when members of the Shield decided to head towards the ring from the crowd stands. And then Team Hell No came out to aid Ric Flair. And when it seemed that the Shield was getting the upper hand, that is when Ryback came in. And it looks like things were really starting to turn around for us, the good guys. Ryback, Team Hell No, and Ric Flair, they really beat down the members of the Shield and taught them some very valuable lessons. Oh yes, on this night, the Shield is defeated. Oh yeah, now that's epic.
So mother effing epic.
That's right. This is an epic victory for us. Remember earlier in the night when Kofi Kingston nailed Tensai with the Trouble in Paradise? Well, here is the result of it. Yeah, I think that's an ice pack on Tensai's head. Yeah, that Trouble in Paradise move of Kofi Kingston is pretty lethal. But it's okay, because Tensai, along with Santina Marella, was still able to present the award of the AOL Award of the year 2012. And it was The Rock that won this award simply by throwing all of John Cena's merchandise into the Boston Bay. I remember that one. That was an epic moment. Thanks, Rock. For this award, yeah, it was the Long Island IC, Zack Ryder. That's right, Zack Ryder and Layla presenting this award. And Zack Ryder was also a nominee for this award. It's for the award for Trending Now hashtag of the year. Whoever was getting the most followers on, Twitter. And Ryback, hands down, won this award simply because of the impact that he was making. Congratulations to Ryback. Very nice. Okay, Jaguars, let's talk about what happened when Sheamus confronted the Big Show in the ring about their match at TLC. And then here's the Big Show again with that huge ass chair. He must have had that one custom made, no doubt about that. Now, I gotta wonder, did the Big Show cheat in this matchup? Not really. It was a chair match, and that is a chair. But damn, that is a huge ass chair. Okay, well, Sheamus, confronted the Big Show in the ring, and Sheamus did not want to be a crybaby or bitch about losing, He decided to be the bigger man and say congratulations to the Big Show. He won in an unorthodox way, but he did win, making a whole new chair, but, okay, he did win. But then the Big Show had to taunt the man and say stuff about Sheamus. And that is when, BAM! Sheamus knocked out the Big Show. Okay? That's right. With the broke kick, Sheamus was able to lay out the Big Show. And here comes Dolph. That's right. Here comes Dolph Ziggler, Mr. Money in the Bank, and just look at him. He is just running to the ring with a referee in tow. You have Dolph Ziggler. He's coming to the ring, running into the ring. He is getting ready to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase for the World Heavyweight Championship. That's right, the Big Show is down, so Dolph is being the opportunist. But wait, John Cena enters and ruins everything for Dolph. Dolph Ziggler's plan is foiled. Oh yeah. Because of what happened in last Sunday's pay-per-view event, John Cena felt it necessary to teach, Dolph a lesson and put the show off down. Great job, John. Okay, in a rematch for what happened at TLC on Sunday, here at the Slammy Awards on last Monday Night Raw, The Miz and Alberto Del Rio would team up again to go up against 3MB, the three-man band, Heath Slater, Jinder Mahal, and Drew McIntyre. But The Miz and Alberto needed another partner, and they selected the returning legendary Tommy Dreamer. And I'm pretty sure that all wrestling fans know who that is. No doubt about it, hardcore ECW original. That's right, Tommy Dreamer, innovator of violence. Yeah, this was a pretty good matchup, but it was 3MB that lost. Okay? Yeah, this match was real good. Okay, first, Ryback won the award of Newcomer of the Year, which was presented by Sheamus. And then Ryback had to go one-on-one with the current United States champion, Antonio Cesaro. Yeah, I've already expressed my feelings about Antonio Cesaro. But you will not believe what he does in this match to further disgrace the U.S. title. Check out what Antonio Cesaro does. That's right. You're seeing it right here. It was a fast-paced matchup. Ryback versus Antonio Cesaro. Ryback is really beating down Antonio, and when the going gets rough, when things get hard, just look at what Antonio Cesaro is doing. That's right. He's picking up his ball, or should I say his US belt, and he's going home. Yep, the match has not ended, but he's quitting. He's taking the count-out loss. Wow, is this a great US champion or what? Yep, quitting is the easy way out. You don't believe me? Just ask Antonio Cesaro. Real nice. You all know that I have been a fan of wrestling for a very, very long time. So you know that I know who these gentlemen are. Mean Gene Okerlund from way back in the day. The legendary multi-world champion Ricky the Dragon Steamboat from way, way back in the day. Super mega announcer Jim Ross. Good old JR. Each of these guys are legendary Hall of Famers in the WWE. Most definitely. And they were here tonight. They were here on this night to present the award of Match of the Year. And who won Match of the Year? That turned out to be, that's right, it was Triple H versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Now right here, yeah, that is Triple H. Yeah, this is a shocker to me too, Triple H cutting his hair. He's going with the short hair now. Yep, a lot of things are changing, and obviously so is the game. Nice hairdo. Yeah, people will be talking about this, huh? But yeah, I definitely agree that, The Undertaker and Triple H, they should be getting this award, because at WrestleMania, end of an era match, The Undertaker versus Triple H, that match was
so mother effing epic.
And it's even more epic that they are getting the award. And let's also not forget about Shawn Michaels being the special guest referee. Great refereeing job by the boy toy. Congratulations, Triple H and Undertaker. No, don't adjust your sets. There's nothing wrong with it. Or should I say your computer monitors. What you're seeing here really did happen last Monday night on Raw, the Slammy Awards. John Cena is really teaming up with Vicky Guerrero, and they're taking on AJ Lee and Dolph Ziggler. Yep, nothing is sacred in the WWE anymore. I mean, everything has been completely turned upside down. Yeah, it's real funny how things happen, huh? Wow, in 24 hours a lot did happen. AJ Lee betrayed John Cena, AJ kissed Dolph Ziggler, and now here we all are. AJ, what is wrong with you? What's going on, AJ? Why are you doing this to us? That's right, this is a mixed tag team match, of course. And there's AJ and Vicky Guerrero getting into it. But then, first AJ Lee leaves the arena. That's right. And then Vicky Guerrero leaves the arena. And then it was just John Cena going up against Dolph Ziggler. They battled each other in the ring. But then, of course, you know, this is no surprise to anyone. John Cena is able to lock Dolph Ziggler in the STFU. And just before Dolph Ziggler, you know, taps out, this new guy comes in. AJ comes back to the ring with this new guy. That's right, Big E Langstrom, another NXT competitor. That's right, that's his name. Former NXT competitor Big E Langstrom is being brought to the ring by AJ Lee, and Langstrom is able to blast John Cena from behind and beat him down. So what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is another NXT competitor coming in here and trying to make a name off of our stars, our pros and our legends. Ah, damn.
Damn.
Okay, yeah. Big E Langstrom is a big dude. Yeah, he caught John Cena by surprise. But just wait until they get into a one-on-one match, and then we'll see how Langstrom does. You know, with all that is happening here in the WWE, a lot of people are wondering. I am wondering. All my Jaguars are wondering. And I know damn sure the rest of the WWE universe is wondering, is why are all of a sudden all of these NXT stars, the competitors, you know, these rookies are coming in here and always overstepping their boundaries, so to speak, and trying our pros and trying our veterans. You know, first I think this whole thing started out with Wade Barrett and his Nexus crew. That's right, I said it. It all started out with him. From the very first NXT, you know, he decided to do that whole thing and try to invade the WWE and cause a whole lot of havoc and make that a pathetic attempt to shut the WWE down. And Wade Barrett, yeah, he truly did make an impact. And they caused a lot of destruction. And people, I don't think anyone's ever going to forget, you know, what the Nexus has done. The Nexus may not be around anymore, but you know what? You want to know what I think? No one will ever forget Nexus. And it was Wade Barrett that started this whole thing, and he came from the heels of NXT. And now you got the Shield, you know, they're causing a whole lot of havoc. And they're from that NXT show of the WWE. And now Kurt E. Langstrom, another NXT competitor, is coming up here and trying to cause some havoc. But most of these guys are targeting John Cena. Of course, it was on this night that John Cena won the award of Superstar of the Year. And you know that I really feel that John Cena does deserve this award, because he is the Superstar of the Year 2012, because John Cena is
so mother effing epic.
That's right, there's no doubt about it. John Cena is epic. And I really feel like John Cena should be the WWE champions, simply because you get more better storylines with him. But right, you know, because when you're the WWE champion, you know, there is a target on your back. But right now, John Cena is not currently holding any titles. He's not the WWE champion. But yet, a lot of legends and a lot of people are targeting John Cena. He's been attacked by the Shield, and when the Nexus first came out, they targeted John Cena. And now this Kurt E. Langstrom guy is coming from NXT, and he's targeting John Cena. He wants to make a name off of John Cena. Why? I feel like it's simply because John Cena is the name and face of the WWE. And in a way, John Cena does represent the WWE. So now people want to target this man. They all want to come down on John Cena. A lot of people don't seem to like him a lot. But that's okay. Because John Cena, just like his slogan is, he will rise above the hate. And he will never give up. He will never quit. He'll keep on fighting. So this Kurt E. Langstrom guy, he is on a collision course with the name and face of the WWE. And that is John Cena. So, can we say wow? That was a whole lot, huh? Going on in WWE Slammy Awards. A whole lot of awards were given out. I tried to go over most of the storylines in the WWE. This is happening, that is happening, but so much more is changing. I just got this feeling that I don't think anything is ever going to be the same in the WWE, be it WWE Raw or SmackDown, or Superstars, or NXT, or any other effing show in the WWE. Whether we like it or not, things are really going and they're moving. And to say that the WWE has been turned upside down is a huge, huge understatement. I have no, and I do mean no idea, what is going to happen next in the WWE. I don't know what these writers are thinking about. But there's only one way to find out.
Peace out. Till the next episode. Oh!